everybody, Kayla here, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a full body flow. It's going to be a little bit higher paced, and we're going to be working everything. Some balancing, we'll be doing sun salutations, everything like that. So if you want to make your way, we're going to start standing up on the right side of your mat. So just find yourself there, closing your eyes, taking a moment, just kind of getting yourself nice and comfortable. So maybe you need to take your feet a little bit wider than touching. Try to get your knees relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Taking a few long breaths in and out. Just noticing anywhere in your body that's feeling a little bit extra tense, a little bit sore. Try to let the tenseness just melt away. So you can allow your jaw to relax. If you haven't already, just start to lengthen in your breath. Long, deep inhales all the way down to the lowest part of your belly. Fully exhaling, pulling everything in and up towards your ribs. And then when you're ready for it, just lengthen the arms up over the head. Get as tall as you can. Spread your fingers really wide. As you exhale, bend in the knees, finding your way forward, holding down here. Starting to sway around. Take a long, deep breath in. Hands onto the shins. Roll the shoulders back. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale to fold back down. Find a little bit of bend in the knee, lengthen all the way up, reaching, and exhale all the way back down. Come halfway up, lengthening. Exhale to fold. Lengthen all the way up, reaching. Last time like that, just coming all the way down. Halfway up, lengthening your spine. Maybe your legs want to lengthen a little bit more. Exhale to fold down. Inhale, reach all the way up, and we'll move into our sun salutations. So as you exhale, come all the way down, folding forward, lengthening halfway up. Exhale to fold, planting your hands. We're just going to step back to all fours and take a cat-cow instead of a chaturanga. So finding your way here, reaching your chest forward. Exhale, pressing the back towards the ceiling. Come back through center, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. Keep the knees bent really deep. Maybe you're just rocking forward and back a few times, noticing how it feels. And then looking forward, walk your feet up. Come halfway up, lengthening. Exhale to fold. Bend in the knees, lengthen all the way up, reaching. We're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to change that vinyasa. If you'd like, just taking a cat and cow, stick with that. Exhale, coming down, stepping back. This time, if you want, come onto your knees, shift your way forward, kneeling plank. Belly's pulled in, elbows hugging your sides. Inhale the chest up. Exhale, back down. Come through all fours and find downward facing dog. Holding here, pedal out the legs, shift side to side. And then looking forward, walk the feet up. Come up halfway. Exhale to fold. Press into the knees, lengthen all the way up. Reach to the ceiling. Same thing again. Exhale all the way back down. Halfway up, lengthening. Planting your hands, stepping back. So again, all fours for cat-cow, or come onto all fours. Shift forward for a kneeling plank. Elbows hugging in. Inhale to reach. Exhale down, press through all fours. Pull your belly in, lift all the way up, downward facing. Looking forward, walk your feet up, come halfway, lengthening through your spine. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, pull all the way up, lengthening. Last time through this sun salutation, so coming halfway up, planting the hands. See if you like to, you can come up onto your toes, finding a full plank, lowering through chaturanga. Maybe you feel like upward facing dog, maybe your back's not ready for it, and we'll press our way back to downward facing. Holding there. Looking forward, walk your feet up, lengthening up halfway. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet, lengthen all the way up, reaching. On your exhale, sink down, widening through those sitting bones, pull your belly in, finding your way into chair pose. Maybe you can sink lower. On your exhale, fold down. We'll come halfway up. Exhale, fold, planting your hands, step your way back, finding your way through whatever form of vinyasa you like. And remember, you can take a cat and cow. We'll meet in downward facing and lift the right leg. On your exhale, bring the knee in, step it up. Back foot's gonna pump flat. Roll yourself up, lengthening warrior one. On your exhale, come all the way back down. Step your way back. Take whatever form of that vinyasa you like, and it could just be a cat and cow. Coming back to downward facing, left leg's gonna lift. Pull the knee into the chest, step the foot up, back foot is flat. Bend both knees to roll up and press into that back foot, lengthening it, finding warrior one. On your exhale, come back down, stepping back, taking a vinyasa, whatever form, or you can skip completely. Making your way back to downward facing. Making whatever movements feel good here. Looking forward, walk your feet back up to the top of the mat. We'll come halfway. Exhale to fold down. Press into the feet. Lengthen all the way up, reaching, and then send those sitting bones wide. Find yourself back into your chair pose. So we're going to do the same thing coming through sun salutation B, but we're just going to add on a little bit. On your exhale, fold all the way down. We'll come halfway up, lengthen through the spine. Planting the hands, step your way back. Take a vinyasa if you like, coming out to the knees if you prefer. Reach the chest up. Find your way back to downward facing. When you get there, right leg's gonna lift. Step the foot all the way up, finding your way. Lengthening. Warrior one. On your inhale, come all the way up through center, turning the long edge of the mat, and then over to the other side, taking the hands down. You're gonna step to downward facing dog. Turn your knees over to the right, drop your hips to the left. We're gonna roll forward, put the weight into your left hand, find a side plank. Holding here, press into your fingers. On your exhale, come all the way back, and you're gonna lift up the left leg. On your exhale, knee into your chest, step it up, plant the back foot down, rolling up, find warrior one, holding here. On your inhale, come up through center, lengthen really tall, turn over towards the right, hands to the floor, step to downward facing. Toes are going to turn to the left, hips to the right. Put the weight into your right hand as you roll forward, find side plank. On your exhale, come back through center, hips all the way up and back, downward facing. If you'd like, you can move side to side a little. And then keeping your toes tucked, we're going to take the knees down, walk the hands back. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Last time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take the hands down, walk them out. Find your way back to downward facing. Holding here. Take a couple of long breaths. Looking forward, walk your feet up, come halfway. Reaching through your spine. Exhale to fold. Bend in the knees. Lengthen all the way up, reach to the ceiling. Send the sitting bones wide, find yourself in a chair pose. On your exhale, fold all the way down. We're gonna come up halfway, then planting the hands, step your way back towards a plank. Chaturanga if you like to, whatever form feels good for you. Meeting back in downward facing, right leg's gonna lift straight up. As you exhale, step that right foot all the way forward, back knee's gonna come down. Take the top of the back foot onto the floor, inhale. Reach up, relax your shoulders, squeeze your glutes. Try to get your hips pressing forward. On your exhale, hands are gonna come down. We're just gonna shift forward and back a few times. Straightening out that front leg. This next time that you have your front knee bent, you're going to hold it there. Left toes are going to pivot back behind you. Walk your hands over, finding your way up for gate. With a bent knee, we're going to lengthen the arms up really high. As you exhale, sink in. So it's like your legs are almost like warrior two, but you have your back knee down. So we're going to inhale, lengthen up. As you exhale, press out, sink in. Inhale up. See if you can press your hips forward a little bit more. As you exhale here, this time we're going to hold. See if you can lengthen over towards that leg. Maybe you can take the hand towards the ground, so almost like a kneeling extended side angle. Keep squeezing the hips forward. And we're going to inhale back up. Turn yourself towards the left side of your mat. Hips all the way back. Turn your toes towards the right, hips towards the left. Roll yourself forward into your left hand, finding that side plank. From here, when we get to plank, we're going to go back to downward facing and your left leg's going to lift. So send it all the way up right away. And then step it forward, back knee down. Top of the back foot down. Squeeze your glutes, press your hips forward, lengthen all the way up. When it feels good, hands down to the floor, shift forward and back a few times, straightening the front leg. The next time that you're bringing yourself forward, hold it there. You're going to take your right toes, pivot them behind you, walk your hands over, finding that like gate pose, but this front knee is bent. Squeeze your hips forward, arms up. We're going to sink in towards that left leg and arms out to the side like a kneeling warrior two. So press like you have something you're pressing against. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, press out. Inhaling and exhaling. Try to keep squeezing the glutes forward. Noticing if this side feels a little different than the other side felt. Last time here, we're going to hold it. See if you can reach forward. Maybe you can take your hand down, almost like an extended side angle. Keep squeezing the glute on your right leg. When you're ready, coming back up, turn yourself over towards the right side of the mat. Hips all the way back, toes towards the left, hips towards the right. We'll roll ourselves forward, side plank. On your exhale, come back, downward facing dog. Holding here. Shifting forward and back a little bit, making a little bit of a wave through the spine. When it feels good, keeping those toes tucked, knees down to the ground, walk your hands back so you're sitting on your heels. If that feels terrible, you can take the feet so that the tops of the feet are flat. We're going to inhale, reach up, make sure your belly's pulling in. Exhale, open just with the chest, not arching that low back. Inhaling up, Exhaling open. 2 more. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands down, walk them out. Find downward facing dog. See if you can shift your hips around a little. Widen through your shoulders. Pressing into your fingertips. And then looking forward, walk your feet up. We're going to come up halfway, lengthening. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet, lengthen all the way up, reaching towards the ceiling. As you come down, spread the sitting bones wide, finding chair, holding here. Squeeze your glutes. On your exhale, fold all the way down. We're going to come halfway up, lengthening. And then planting the hands, step your way back, taking a chaturanga if you like to. Come onto your knees if it feels better, or just take a cat and cow. When you get up here, right leg's going to reach. Spread your fingertips wide. We're going to take the knee into the chest a few times, so hug it in and send it back up. Try to get your shoulders as high up towards the ceiling as you can, giving space for that leg to come forward. Last time, bringing that knee in and step the foot all the way forward. Back foot's going to come flat. We're finding warrior 2, so lengthen all the way up, keep both knees bent a little, and then when you get up here, lengthen out. We're going to do similar to what we did before, so we're going to inhale, reaching up. As you exhale, squeeze those arms out like you're pressing against something. Inhaling up and exhaling to press out. If it feels good, bend that back knee a little as you're in the transition and straighten it back out, squeezing your glute as you bend in. Last time lifting, as you exhale, really press into it. We're going to sink forward, finding that extended side angle. Press your hips forward. If it feels good, you're going to take your top arm back behind your back. Front arm's going to come inside the thigh. You can hold on to your thigh, or if you have the bind, you can reach around and grab it. We're going to step the left foot forward. Put the weight into it. We're finding bird of paradise. So you can keep your hands clasped or just hold on to the inner thigh. Lifting yourself up. Opening your chest up. See if maybe you can straighten this leg. Whoop. And then we'll sink back down. Woo. Step back out. Finding your extended side angle. Maybe hand can come to the floor this time. On your exhale, take your top hand down, walk yourself over, finding a wide forward fold. When you're ready for it, we're going to come halfway up, walk your hands to the left. Stepping back to downward facing, just like before. Toes are going to come to the right, hips to the left. Roll yourself forward. Finding side plank. Take the bottom knee down if you need to. Because this time we're going to see if we can lengthen up that foot and back down a couple of times. Can you do 3 more? And then come back to center. Downward facing, left leg's gonna lift. We'll take a couple of those knee tucks, so bring the knee in, try to lift the shoulders as high as you can, all the way back. Pressing into the floor. This time bring the knee all the way in, and then step up, back foot's flat. Bend both legs, find your way up towards warrior 2. When you get there, lengthen out that back leg. Squeezing everything under you. And then just like before, we're going to move from here. So inhale to lift. As you exhale, press in. Watch my back knee. If it feels good, you can bend the back knee a little as you transition, and then press the leg straight again, activating that glute. So it's just when you're moving that that back knee bends just a little, and then it straightens out when you get here, and it straightens out when you get back to warrior two. Two more times like this. Holding here. Reach it forward, forearm to thigh. We'll find extended side angle. See if you can sink in a little bit more. Our top hand is going to come back behind the back. See if you can open your chest. Front hand can just grab your thigh and you can hold it there. Or maybe you can slide down, reach under for your opposite foot. We're just going to bring the right foot in. Put all of your weight into it. Finding your way to standing. See if you can open your chest. And maybe you can lengthen this leg long. Woo! And then we'll take it down. Whoop! All the way back. Lengthening into your extended side angle. Maybe this time you can keep the hand on the floor. Sink the hips down. And then the top hand will come down. We'll walk ourselves around. Ooh. Sink into your forward fold. When it feels good, come halfway up, lengthen through your spine. We're going to walk the hands over towards the right side of the mat. Step yourself back to downward facing. Toes to the left, hips to the right. Roll forward, finding that side plank. And then just like before, take the bottom knee down if you need to. We're going to try to lift the top leg 8 times. So you'll lift it up and down. Woo. 2 more. And then take that top hand down. Find downward facing. Whew. Let's bring the knees down for this one. Toes together. Walk your hands back. Chest down. Maybe bring your arms by your sides. Rock around. Slow your breath. When you're ready for it, hands coming back in front of you. Take your knees towards each other if you can. We're just going to sit down on the heels. So instead of curling the toes under this time, you're going to keep the tops of the feet on the ground. If it feels okay, you can lean forward if you need to. And we're just going to walk the knees up a little bit, one at a time, stretching out the fronts of the ankles. Slowing the breath down. When it feels good for you, coming back, walk your hands out, tuck your toes, find downward facing. We're gonna sink, we're gonna turn the toes to the left, sink the hips to the right, and just lengthen, maybe pulse here a few times. We're just trying to get long down that side. Come back through center, turn the hips to the other side, sink down, pulse it. Back through center, both sides, one more time. And then coming back to center, see if you can sink your chest back. Bend the knees a little bit. When it feels good, looking forward, walk the feet up. Lengthen yourself halfway up. Exhale, folding down. Bend the knees, roll yourself up, reach to the ceiling. As you exhale, hands down to the heart. You're gonna step back with your left foot. Just find your way into a wide goddess. Holding here. Try to tilt your pelvis forward, sink down, press into the heels. Knees are trying to open up. You can shift around if it feels good. Maybe you have music on, dance around to it. See if you can get lower. And then when it feels good, we're gonna shift side to side. So find a side lunge, really getting into that inner thigh by sending your hips over with the legs. And then over to the other side. Your hands can be on your thighs, just don't put weight into them. You're just maybe resting them there. Couple more times like this, really swaying those hips with the legs. And then when it feels good, we're gonna stay with the right knee bent. Holding here, maybe pulsing, really squeeze the glute. And then we're gonna spring up onto the left leg. So sweep your way, open the knee out to the side, finding your way into tree pose. Get really strong and tight here. If you normally take your foot up into your thigh, you can, but we're gonna do a little bit more here, so you might wanna keep it on the inner calf. Get nice and tall, lengthening. Relax your shoulders, pull your belly in, see if you can look up. Press your foot and your leg into each other. Maybe you can close one eye. Maybe you can close both. Keep squeezing. Ooh, losing it. Couple more breaths here. You're trying to press your right knee out. And then if it feels good, you can keep your arms up. You can take them down to your heart. You can take them onto your hips. Find something to look at that's not moving, that won't distract you. So maybe if you have something on your floor, and we're gonna try to lift up onto the toes. Ooh. So you're just gonna try to lift up and then you'll lower back down. If you can hold it up there, go for it. Imagine every muscle in your body is helping you here. So you're squeezing everything in and up, and then maybe you can lift and hold. And then we're gonna step that foot out, finding your way back into goddess, holding. You can sway around here if it feels good. Maybe you can sink lower, holding it. Try to pull your belly in, squeezing in your glutes. And then we're gonna shift the weight over into the left leg, hold it there, maybe take some small pulses. And then when it feels good, we're just gonna sweep over onto the right leg for that tree pose. You'll sweep your way up, opening that knee out, squeeze the hips, pull the belly in, try to get the knee as far as you can. Everything's nice and strong, lifting up. Press the foot and the leg into each other. Just like before, see if you can look up. Maybe you can close one eye. Maybe you can close both eyes. Woo. So when I close my eyes, I imagine what it was I was just looking at. So I was looking at my ceiling and then I imagine my ceiling in my mind. I feel like it helps me, maybe not. Woo. Holding here a little bit more, just in this regular old tree pose. See if you can get that knee squeezing out a little bit more. And then when it feels good, find something to look at that's not moving. Your hands can come down if you need them to. Try to pull everything in and up, so pelvic floor is pulling up, belly's pulling up. Electric out through your fingers. And then see if you can come up onto your toes. Ooh, maybe this side is easier than the other side. And just trying that a few times. Good. Maybe you can hold. Oh, When you're ready, you're gonna step out with that left leg, turn both toes towards the long edge of the mat, bend the knees a little, sink yourself forward first, find your spine long, press into both feet, see if you can start to lengthen your legs straight. Don't straighten them all the way if it hurts, just find where you feel the stretch. And grab opposite elbows, maybe rock around a little if that feels good. Shake your head yes and no. When it feels good, heel toe your feet back towards each other. Bend the knees in deep, find a crouch. In the center of your mat, try to send your heels down. Stretching out the backs of the ankles. And then we're just gonna slowly make our way down, facing the right side of the mat. Take the feet the same width as the mat. Hands can come back behind you. We're just gonna windscreen wiper. If it feels good, reach your chest up. Maybe you wanna straighten out whichever leg is behind you, and then come to the other side. One more time. And then come back to center. Feet are gonna come flat down on the ground. If you feel like taking a reverse plank, you can with your legs straight. I'm gonna stick with the tabletop. Roll your chest up, shoulders coming back, press into the heels, press into your hands. And we're gonna lift the hips. Try to get your hips up in line with your shoulders. Press into your fingertips. Don't let your wrists take the whole weight of this. And then we're gonna bring the hips down, pull your belly in, lift up the feet, squeeze your big toes together. See if you can reach your arms out in front of you, finding boat. When it feels good here, you're gonna cross your ankles, take your hands onto the floor, bend a little bit into this. See if you can just lift your booty. Maybe you can lift your feet up too. Come back down, reach your chest, press your feet together. Maybe this time you can take a full boat pose. Embracing the shake. Cross the opposite ankle over, coming forward. Find bend in your elbows and your shoulders reaching so you can press the hips off the ground. Come back down, boat one more time. This time see if you can take a low boat holding. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. And then we'll roll ourselves up. Move the flesh away from your sitting bones. Take the soles of the feet together. Nice and tall. Just move around a little bit here. If it feels good, lean over to the right. Put your hand on your left knee. Come back through center. We're gonna reach the right leg long. Keep the left sole of the foot inside the thigh. Turn towards your right leg, just sink over it. Try to keep your spine long. Pull your toes back towards you. Don't forget to breathe. When you're ready, press yourself back up. We're gonna take the soles of the feet back together, lengthen up nice and tall. If it feels good, just like we did on the other side, you're gonna lean to the left, put your hand onto your right knee, just putting a little bit of weight into that leg and getting a side bend. Pull your belly in. So you're not feeling this in your low back. When you're ready, come back up. Left leg's gonna lengthen out. Get really tall, turn your chest towards the leg, sink over it, trying to get your ribs towards your foot, not your face towards your knee. Maybe you can pull your toes back towards you. On your next inhale, gently come back up. We're going to take the soles of the feet onto the ground, walk them out kind of wide, reach your chest between your legs. Maybe you can grab your feet or your ankles, and we're just going to try to pull ourselves forward a little. You can scoot your feet forward and take your sitting bones back behind you to get a little bit more of a fold. If it feels good and you have your hips back behind you so you can feel those sitting bones, maybe you want to lengthen your legs out. So you're not really in a wide forward fold per se, like a really wide one. Their feet are just about the width of your mat. And if it feels good, maybe you want to round that upper back. When it feels good for you, gently bring your hands back. Legs back together, we're going to roll onto our backs. So if it feels good for you, hands are going to come right onto your tops of your thighs. Press the thighs away from you so you're feeling that traction in your low back. When you're ready, releasing that down, you're going to take your right knee, cross it over your left knee, bring the knees into the chest. Maybe you can grab hold of the backs of your thighs or the opposite shins and pull the legs out, not out, pull them in towards your chest and the feet out a little bit. So you're getting that outer hip stretch. And then arms out to the sides, making a T shape or a cactus shape. Just let your knees drop over towards the left. If you don't like having them crossed when you get here, just stack one on top of the other. When it feels good, you're just going to gently come back to center, unwind the legs, and then cross the left over the right. Bring the knees into the chest. You can grab opposite thighs, not opposite thighs, the back of your thighs, or opposite shins. Just putting a little bit of pressure, pulling those feet in towards you, getting the stretch on the outside of the hip. Making any movements that feel good, maybe rocking your head like I am. And then when you're ready for it, let go of your feet, keep your legs crossed, arms out to the sides for a T or a cactus shape. Let your knees drop over towards the right. way that feels good for you. Gently come back to center. Knees into your chest. Maybe bring them wide. You can rock around a little. If you like Happy Baby, you can grab hold of your ankles or your feet or your big toes and start to bring your feet towards the ceiling. If it doesn't feel good to bring them towards the ceiling, just keep your legs, your knees bent a little bit more, your feet towards the wall, but you can still grab hold of your feet if it feels good. Or you can kind of practice coming out towards it. Just try not to bring your head up off the ground. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then when you're ready, releasing wherever you're grabbing. Coming in, give yourself a nice tight hug. A long, deep inhale in. Full exhale out. And then release the feet down. Do whatever you like with your arms. So your legs can come out long. I'm just going to bring the soles of my feet down to the ground. Let my knees drop in. Take a couple of long, deep breaths in, exhaling out through the mouth. And then just let your breath relax back into its natural state. On your next inhale, just start to bring some movement back into your body. Making the movements a little bigger as it feels good for you. If you like to, you can reach your arms up over your head, your legs long, and take a deep breath in, filling your whole body. And then bending one knee at a time, just gently roll off onto one side. Taking a moment here, just noticing if you're feeling any different than you were at the beginning of your practice. And then gently blinking your eyes open. Press yourself up, finding your way to any seated position that's comfortable for you. We'll take a long, deep breath in, lengthening through the spine, maybe reaching your arms up over your head. Taking your palms to touch, lower them to your heart center. Just taking a moment to give gratitude to your body. And may the light within me reach out and touch the light within all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know what you think. Please share with your friends. And I will see you next time. Bye.